Hi there, YTPC. Uh, did I say that right? YouTube piping community. This is a VR, as you read from the description, for 300 Sub Gaw for Temper Tantrum. You wanted to know what our favorite movie is and our favorite TV series. Well, me and the first mate here, we're big horror fans, and it's hard when you're a movie buff, horror fanatic, horror fan. It is so hard to really sit down from all the different genres that you have and try to break down what specifically is your favorite one. It's so very hard. So on that note, I always sit down and I do these type of not just VRs, but this type of topic comes up about horror, or my favorite horror movie and things like that. In the the groups that I belong to, horror groups, things like that. I mean, I always just go out for the main one, the one that I always go back to. I mean, because you got like the zombie films. I'm a big time George Romero fan. I love all his classic zombie films. Like in my head, it's always the ones that you always wind up picking off your DVD shelf, and and watching them over and over and over again. That's when I go back to what's the favorite one, what's the best one. And well, for me, first of all, let me get this out of the way. I'm smoking Waterloo. Mm-hmm. Not a bad smoke. So that's what we're chooching on today. Happy International Pipe Smoking Day, which was a belated one. So because that was yesterday, today's Friday as the recording of this, and as you can see from my getup, it's very cold, blustery. It's windy. It's about, oh my goodness, 18 degrees out here with the wind chill in South Jersey. We got a cold snap come through last night. It was it's only 28 right now, I think. It's cold. So holding on to my pipe to keep my hands warm. I forgot to wear my gloves. But okay, so back to the topic at hand. I always go with Phantasm, 1979, Don Coscarelli, starring the late great Angus Scrimm, as well as Reggie Bannister and Michael A. Baldwin, Bill Thornberry. I mean, this film is the one that started it all, and you have 5 movies in the series. As you can see, I got autographs from when I used to go to horror conventions. I actually was, fortunate enough to get Angus Scrimm's, the tall man, his autograph along with Reggie Bannister, and that's the only 2 I got. I don't think there was nobody else that was at this particular convention. You can go to other ones where they're all there, or they were there. Well, of course, Angus won't be there anymore, but they go all these conventions, and then you can get their autographs. So, if you're not seen this movie, it's a cult classic, which has just, it's in popular culture. It's, I don't know if the first one is considered a B movie, but the other ones are. Like I would say they're probably about B horror movies. The more that they go, like they do with all movie series, they all wind up. You have your favorites. You got the ones that you say are trash, or not that good. And it's due to budget constraints, because Don has always wanted to do it on his own. You could tell in Phantasm 2, because it was done by I think MGM or Paramount, one of the two. He had a big budget on that, and that's why they didn't have the original cast. Because that was one of the things that Hollywood, they always put their fingers in everything. Well, you'll get this budget, you get to do this, but we want this guy in this role, that type of thing. So, and basically, I mean, this movie's about a boy that stumbles upon, this mortician who's an alien from another universe, and he's digging up the dead bodies and shrinking them down into dwarves. And that's another little tidbit. This movie was filmed before Star Wars. This film was made, and you have that's why and it's funny because a lot of people always say, well, who bit off who? Did George Lucas, bite off of Don Coscarelli? Because that's the one of the tidbit of information. Because like you have little dwarves in here that look like the little Jawas from Star Wars, and but this movie, even though it came out in '79, I think Star Wars was filmed as well. But this one came out a little bit later than Star Wars did. But the interesting fact is that the scenes with the dwarves and stuff and the creation of the dwarves were filmed before Star Wars was even out, because like I think he was having like budget issues or whatever, and that's why, and they couldn't get the movie out, and it would have been just interesting, That's one of those things. uh, so, Phantasm is one of my all-time favorites. It's just a cult classic. It's one that I go back to all the time. And the next is the your favorite TV series. And my one all-time favorite TV series was Boston Legal, starring William Shatner, Candice Bergen, and James Spader. It's throughout the seasons. There was 5 seasons. You got so many different actors, like all these people that are on the back here, like the main cast from the first season. They're like a lot of the women had moved on to other things, and then like they bring other female casts into it. But the main 2 guys, they're always Shatner and James Spader. Man, I just love it. It's classic. Uh, Man, it was just so funny, and like they never lose a case. And I just loved how at the end of every episode they're out there on their balcony, having a victory cigar and a glass of scotch, and they're just sitting there with the big stogies and having a good old time, celebrating their victories for the day, in their case. And like I watched this religiously when it was out on TV, and I would buy the whole series, every single season, when it was done. Well, let's see. But I think I stopped. I have like seasons 1 through 4. I didn't buy the last season. I just just because. I mean, I still have season 4 still in the Saran wrap. So, yeah. But it's just really great. It's funny. Like I said, those scenes are just great, and you can still rewatch these. I mean, so it's kind of hard though a lot of times with series with me to rewatch a lot of times because they're kind of dated, because a lot of times with what was happening in the world around us at the time when these were being filmed, it was really like weird because like they would pick up on it. It was almost like the writers were like, like something would be in the news, and then like the next week you'd be watching a show, and one of the cases would have something that was so similar to what was going on, in the world around us. And so I was like, what the heck? I mean, like this is just really happened in real life, and now they have like a funny type case about it. It was like almost like this stuff was almost like taped the week before. It's just that's the way it seemed to me. But yeah, this is just great, and in one of the magazines of Cigar Aficionado, when I used to collect them, Shatner, I got the issue with Shatner on the front cover, and he was talking about his time here with Boston Legal, and how doing the cigar scenes, when he's always had the cigar, like they always had to keep relighting the cigar, because continuity. It started out big, and then they had to take too many takes. Then they had to relight it, and get it down the right length and everything and all that. So he says he smoked so much cigars that he actually got like aversion. Like when someone you want to quit smoking, you smoke them damn cigarettes or whatever until you're sick and green and fucking puking your guts up. That's what happened to him, and like he couldn't even stand even having a stogie for a long time till because of doing all those scenes. It's just like made him sick. But that's my VR. To you, Temper Tantrum or Tantrum, whatever. I mean, I just subbed your channel not too long ago, so sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Tamper, Tantrum, or whatever. Sorry. Yeah, you could keep that snuff. I don't stick nothing on my nose. So if I do win, hey, keep the snuff. I'll take the pipe tobacco. So guys, I guess that's it. Phantasm is my movie. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Boston Legal, same thing. I don't think you can even, unless you get subscribed to some sort of digital CBS station or something like that. I don't even know if you can even watch this on TV yet anymore. So, but if you can, check it out. So until we do it again, my friends, remember, let's set sail.